The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hi, it's me, Nikki Glaser. Welcome to the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Brian is going to be here shortly. He's running a little late, and we had to do this podcast now because I've got shit to do. But I'm not here alone. My mom is in studio. What's up, Julie Glaser?
Nikki Glaser, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I know
love
you have a
this.
lot to promote.
You know it.
Yeah. You're so welcome. So tell everyone about the things you've been thinking about buying on Craigslist. That's what you're here to promote, right?
The things
I just want to know what you're thinking that you've been eyeing. Like, should I get this? Or on eBay, anything like that? I don't know. I'm just thinking of something you could be promoting.
No, there's nothing.
Any big things coming up?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, you have a Europe trip.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we could promote that. We're going to see Taylor Swift 5 times in Europe. I don't even know how it happened. I know. It's excessive. I can't stop. It would be 7, but I have a gig. Anyway, we're going to Dublin first.
Right.
But we
I
were
can't
talking.
believe it. First of all,
I told them about it last week, but
Okay.
yeah, we're so excited.
We're so excited.
Are you excited to go to 5? Or are you secretly telling Dad like it's a little much?
No, it's a lot for me, but I'm so excited.
But if you
The
don't
more
want
I
to do,
listened-
because Amsterdam's 3 days in a row.
Okay,
It's
what?
Dublin, and then we have some days off, and then it's Amsterdam 3 days, 3
Right.
shows in a row, and then days off, and then Zurich.
Right.
If you wanted to take off the middle Amsterdam day,
What
I
would
would
you
just
do with that
I would just
ticket?
give it to some person that I found out on the stadium that was
That
like
is
looked like they would
unbelievable.
like tried really hard and dressed up and just surprise someone. Someone that it looks like I would want to sit with, like
Gotcha.
sing with them the whole show.
Well, I mean, as far as it
Because I'm
stands
fine
now-
going alone, and I just find a friend.
No, of course.
So yeah, you have the ability to.
That's
to opt
so
out if you
sweet
want.
that you say that. I don't know that I'll need it, but
They're long shows.
I know.
I know, but
And I
it's
am
fun.
old.
And you have had a long life. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a long life.
There's not
This
there's
is the
not many more
cap off.
Taylor Swift eras tour shows left. That's how you measure time. How many All Too Well's 10-minute version do you have left to live? It's a good question.
Oh my God.
have outfits though, like because I was like, oh shoot, I have to plan 5 different Taylor Swift outfits, and I'm getting a little lazy on them. Like
You are?
which kind of makes it fun because you just are like, I'll just wear whatever. Like, let's see just how this works. So I just went on. I was like, oh, I'll do a 1989 look because I want to do her new looks that she's doing for the Eras
Okay.
tour. So she has like a new 1989 look that I did like 2 of the different color schemes from. So I have like this. I got on Amazon. It's like this pink bra top, bralette
so
top,
cute. Yeah.
and then with blue like
Skirt?
skirt that's like metallic-y.
my
That's like I
God.
forget the name of that skirt, but it's like a cheerleader skirt kind of, but without
That's a
the
good-
pleats. And then the same top it was supposed to be black, but it looks like it's midnight blue to me. And then a pink skirt,
Oh,
same
that's
style. So
cute.
that's 2 nights out of the bag. And then I got this dress on like Lulu's. This is all fast fashion. This is all bad for
It's
the
all bad for
world
the
and
environment.
Yes, but I
But you gotta get
can't help
something.
myself. And yeah, and I want it just let
You don't
me.
have time like
Just
I
forgive
do.
me, everyone, please. I know you do it too in your own ways, but yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. No, this is from Pretty Little Thing, which is basically the same shit. Really cheap dress, but flowy, red,
Really cute.
long. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah,
That's
really
like
cute.
Evermore. And then there's so then orange is this new color she's been wearing a lot in torture or in this
Poets?
batch of shows.
Okay.
So we think there's like a secret album coming. That was one that she might have released back when, but something happened, so she didn't release it. And we think it's called Karma, and we think the theme is going to be like orange colors because she's been wearing a lot of orange and like teasing it.
Oh my God,
And
I
Karma
love
is
that.
an album that she spray painted on the wall when she was in the Man video, and she spray painted all of her album titles. And then there's one that said Karma, and we're like, what's that one?
And you
So-
were like, what
so this is like
that?
an orange kind of folklore.
That's so
dress.
cute. I
And then
love
I have
that.
the Tortured Poets.
But don't you have
department
one for
outfit
me?
too.
Where's the one for me?
It's in Chris is sleeping. It's in my other
Oh.
closet. But I already wore it to an Eras, but it's like a really flowy thing. It will fit. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's such the problem that we're dealing with right now.
That's
that
that-
you are not fitting in my clothes.
Yeah,
yet.
that's. I mean,
So how is this trip even going to work? That really is the problem.
How
You
am I gonna wear your
you
old
as a
clothes?
woman in your 60s should be expected to have the body of a 40-year-old woman who works
I
out all the
probably
time.
should.
You really should.
I know.
Hold yourself to those standards.
I mean, I should.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I probably should. It would
Like,
be.
when can you just let yourself be yourself? I'm like letting my spray tan go, and I'm just like, I think
You're not.
I'm still gonna do it, but I'm just like, I'm even before this trip. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna spray tan before the trip. And I'm like, why would I spray tan in Ireland? This is where
they don't.
they accept
tan.
this.
They're
In
very
fact,
pale.
I will look spray tanned in Ireland with my
with
regular,
just your regular.
because I have that I'm Irish German, so the
Right.
German side brings maybe a
That's a little darker than the Irish.
I guess, but no, I'm pretty pasty, and I felt like over there they don't give a fuck. I mean, maybe over there they tan a lot because I do know the Brits spray tan a ton, so they might. Maybe they could be into it. There's Brian. He's in some place that sounds noisy, and there's like a fire alarm going off wherever he is. This is ideal for a recording space. So Brian didn't have internet today at his apartment. There's
Okay.
like blackouts.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we had to find him a conference room.
You're kidding me.
And he went to it, and he's there reporting live from this conference room.
That's
And
right.
I hope Culver City. I hope it was close for you to get to. How are you, Brian? Tell us what's going on there.
It's a little echoey in here. It's not really like a studio. It's kind of like a conference room, but hopefully it's not too bad.
No, it
Actually,
sounds
it
good on
sounds
our end.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it
I'm
sounded
talking-
horrible when you started, but
That's
it
because
sounds good now.
That's funny that you say that because that was actually you guys. You heard yourselves.
Oh, I was like, God, that is
God,
woman's voice.
sound good.
They should not choose that woman to, and that's why actually they should choose it. And they want to you would want to exit the building during a fire if you heard
Good
my
point.
voice.
Good point.
It did. It
sound
sounded
horrid.
like an alarm, like someone saying an alarm, like you must
screeching.
exit the building.
It really did. God, I hate. Don't you hate when there's a delay and you can hear your own voice?
Yeah.
It makes me like it's like when
I'm
people
like,
describe.
I'll call you right back.
Yeah, I can't take.
I can't take it 1 second.
No.
Yeah. Because you feel like you're almost getting like trolled by yourself because it's like and then like it's repeating right after you.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's mocking you and you're just like there's some people. Andrew was really good at that. Chris is pretty good at it too, like saying what you're saying right after you say it.
Oh.
Do you know that? It's the most annoying
no,
thing
think
to ever
that
have
happened.
happen.
I used to do that in high school.
I bet you'd be great at it.
When I was in high school, and remember we had to like read aloud in front of the entire class.
Oh.
Like they were like, dude, let's read chapter 6.
Yeah.
So
and
what
I was always wanting for Ray Poole. I would count how many till Ray Poole because he was had the best, most soothing ASMR
You're
voice. And I would just
kidding
like
me. You knew that
crack.
back then.
I would like nod out like a heroin addict
Oh
when he
my
was talking, and
God.
then I'd be like, oh, when am I up? And then the anxiety would start. So yes, Brian.
Ray Poole's a great voice for an ASMR guy too. A pool
Yeah.
of relaxing.
I was
water.
always like, do you know your name is Rape Ool? Like
No,
the rape is in
Ray
your name. And he was like, I don't appreciate that.
yeah.
He was so cool though. I loved him. And he had connected earlobes. His earlobes were like very connected to his head, which mine are too. And I liked that. And he was the one that called me a bucktooth beaver in 5th grade, but it was funny when he said it because I asked to borrow a pencil from him, and I did that every single day because I always forgot school supplies and was never prepared. Not because of you, Mom, but because of my ADHD. And so I would every day ask him for a paper and pen and one pencil. And one day he was like, and then like when you ask someone every day in and out, like they always say yes. So you're like, I guess I can just take it now because I don't want to bug them. They're doing something. And I know they're going to say yes. So I just like took it because it was just a piece of paper out of like, one of those thick things
Binder,
or a pencil, whatever. And I knew I was going to give it back if I remembered. And he caught me and he was
Oh,
like,
shit.
what are you doing? He was like, you dumb bucktooth beaver. Why don't you go in the woods and gnaw down a tree and make your own pencil?
wow.
Here you had that kind of.
And everyone heard, and it was devastating.
Damn.
And it was like, oh no, I have buck teeth.
He
and,
had it dumb to it too.
I think I did through the years.
I mean, it gets worse
the
every time
years.
you tell it.
It probably
It
does.
does.
I would love to see the original recording of what he said to me, but
he
it was
would love
devastating.
to hear.
I love him so much. He's so funny. He had the best handwriting. He was so cool. He was so funny, and we became friends later on. I mean, this was in 5th grade. So
Are you still friends with him?
no, I don't. I've talked to people who've talked to him, and I'm always like, "Tell Ray I said
Oh
hi."
my
'Cause
God.
he's in the St. Louis area. He has like kids now.
He would love
I
to
would
hear
love
from
to run
you.
into him because I loved him and he was such a good actor. And
I
such a good
remember
reader.
him.
Yeah. So if you know Ray Poole, will you guys like shout? Will you like tell him to hear this podcast and tell him I'm talking about him and that I love him?
I only know Rape
as a
Ool.
friend.
I don't know Ray though.
Yeah, Rape Ool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was my comeback in 5th grade. Well, your name has rape in it,
Yeah.
and everyone's just like, "What's
Did
rape?"
you ever think that though when you really?
Yeah, rape.
Yeah.
No, I remember in high school people being like, "That's so weird. You noticed that?" I'm like, "How did you not? Your name has rape in it. Anyway, what you were saying about
whenever someone would
reading
read
in
aloud
class.
in class, I would always look at the last word of the sentence or the last word of the paragraph and
So
then
smart.
say it before they got to it. So they'd be like, and then the man went to the store
What?
to go look at his products at the store. And then, what the fuck? Did he just say that?
Wait, so you'd say it like out loud and the whole class would hear?
Just my little section. So they'd all be laughing at, because I would go like,
that's-
Jonathan, store.
Did it like so right before he would say the word
It would
store?
be it would be like 5 to 7 words before he'd get to that
That's
word.
so weird. Brian, that's so crazy. That's such a funny thing to figure out to do. This weekend, Ari Fendling was out with us opening, and he revealed something that he does that we were all just like gobsmacked by.
Wow.
So he gets off on like squeeze it, like when he's in the grocery aisle, about checkout, touching the chocolates through the wrapper and like puncturing them like a little bit so that the person that gets it will still eat it, like not damaging to the point where it's inedible, but the person will be a little bit bummed out. And he does it every time.
What?
And his daughter's starting to do it. And his wife literally, when they're in line, has to be like, don't do it. And he's like, I can't. And he's like, I don't. And we're like, that is on the Dahmer scale of
That's
psychopathy.
weird.
Yeah. Why is
Yeah.
he spreading disappointment amongst the world?
I know. I go, why do you want to do that? And then later on, I swear to God, he was eating edamame later that night, and someone had put like shells that didn't have the edamame in them, like
Back
old
in.
shells
Wow.
back in, and he sucked on one of them and was like, what the hell? And I go, you got findlinged. I was like, that's what they feel.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you still, like, that's the
Good.
level. And I was like, doesn't that suck? Why would you want to spread that around, you psycho?
I want
But
to
it was real-
speak
it was
on behalf
fun.
of all Jews. Ari, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Ari.
You're
quit it.
representing us. You know, you gotta,
Well, we got on the subject matter because we were talking about shoplifting and how, like that was addicting, even though you didn't want
Need it.
anything that you got.
Oh, interesting.
Even like it would just be the adrenaline of
For
like
the
stealing
thrill.
something. Like when I got caught stealing, like it was
But that's stuff you wanted.
no, it wasn't. It was
You're
just stuff that didn't have
kidding.
tags. I was just like, yeah, like it was almost like it's a store of free stuff. If
Okay.
the stuff that doesn't have tags, like security tags, are free.
Oh, I see.
And
no
it'd be like
security
if I'd be like,
tags.
Mom, do you like this shirt? It's free, but like it's a men's large. You'd be like, I'll take it. Maybe I'll find
No.
someone who will take it. Like that's how I thought of
Gotcha.
thieving as.
I see it.
And I wouldn't even give it away. Like
What do
I
you
would
call
just
it?
I just said thieving.
Oh, thieving.
It was so dumb and
you-
compulsive. But as soon as I got caught, I never
no
did
fun.
it again. Yeah, I never did it. I never got caught again.
It's too embarrassing.
No, it's too embarrassing. The risk is too high. It's
I got caught
humiliating.
stealing.
You did? How old?
Oh.
Young.
I was, I think I was 14.
Okay, that's young enough. That's still kid though.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a
I was an
store
adult.
at a mall with my friend Connie, and she's like, "You got to steal that shirt," and I'm like,
I blame Connie already.
"Yeah, it was her fault."
I mean,
but
this is
then she
ridiculous.
was making so much noise. By the time I had it hidden, the guy outside was like, "You girls are stealing. We can hear you." I'm
Yeah,
like,
suspicious.
"Oh my god, I didn't even want
Wait,
this."
you hadn't even stolen it yet, and you were like debating it in the dressing
she
room.
was.
And they're like,
She's like,
we
yeah.
preemptively know where this is going.
Yeah,
based on
they
the.
could tell just by the conversation because I was like, I don't want to
to
Oh my
steal.
God.
And she's like, just put it in. And it was so obvious.
That's so-
and then my dad had to come up and get me.
oh my God.
And
Oh no!
yeah, no, I
I'm
was
scared
held
right now
back.
even
Connie
hearing
was
this.
not because she didn't have anything on her, but I had this stupid shirt down my pants or something.
Wow.
And my dad was like, they're like, well, Mr. Burke, we can either send her to juvenile or you can take her home. And he sat there and just looked at me,
Oh my God! Like,
Like,
it was
waited.
like, what am I gonna do?
waited, and then finally he's like,
Were you crying?
oh, crying's not a word. Then I got home, and then my sister Peggy was really mad. She's like, why you put shame on our
Oh
family?
my
And-
Oh
God.
no!
I was like, going,
Shame on your family.
yeah,
That's a little
she was-
extreme.
Yeah, it was shame on the family,
Uh-huh.
and it was really bad.
Oh no!
It was embarrassing. I was like, oh God.
Yeah,
I
that
never-
scares you straight.
And
You'll
my
never do it
father
again.
was so upset with me.
Of course he was.
You know, I was like, oh God.
But
But
That
we
was
were
a different
poor.
time.
Of course, and you were poor.
We
Like
were
it would have been
super
nice
poor.
to. You deserve to steal that
I
day. You
should've
did not bring shame. It's. I think it's a natural thing to go through, and then you eventually stop doing it. But like, You needed to. That's
I
not
stopped
shameful.
immediately. I was like, I wouldn't again. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
embarrassing.
No, you brought shame to the family because you
Well,
didn't
yeah.
get away with it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Had I
Because
gotten
I was
away
going to
with
say,
it,
your
I
dad
would-
definitely did some thieving in his day.
God, he had
get
be
by.
something.
Oh,
like
he
that.
would. Yeah. First of all, stealing is a form of lying, and everyone
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah.
But it's you just got busted, and it was just great
Right.
shame. Not having 10 kids that you can't take care of. There's nothing shameful of that, Grandpa.
Right.
Just keep getting your wife pregnant when you know that you
Man.
have addictions that are going to make the family run out of money quicker than enough to afford 2 kids. But keep getting her pregnant.
No, I mean that sounds like addictive
but there's no shame in
behavior.
that.
He was addicted
Yeah,
to getting people
yeah.
pregnant.
But listen,
10?
I would even say he's not
Yeah.
a bad guy. It's not his fault. He was probably fucked up from the war, and like no one talks about their feelings. There's
Oh.
no one in your generation got raised by any good like people. Like your mom was
God.
sweet, but like she fucked up too. Like it was just so backwards.
No, I think my dad was raised by.
Oh, he was fucked.
Terrible.
I mean, anyone that your dad and
He
our
was the
grandma's generation.
expectations of him. You know, he was.
You know when you hear about a good parent in like the early 1900s and you're like, what? Like my dad read to us every day and you go, what? A dad read it in the 1920s? And it was fucking rare to find a good dad in the 1920s. And then
Yeah.
even I would go as far as like the 70s.
Atticus Finch or something. They weren't-
Yeah, because
there
his
weren't-
wife was dead. That's like my
Right.
joke. That's the only time they fucking step up.
Right.
That's where we go, oh, he's like a mom. But like before then there's not, but Atticus was a good example of a good dad.
Yeah.
But all dads could be like, well, I don't have to do that because I have
And
a wife
that's a
to do that.
fictional character too.
Yeah, but he was all women were horny for him. Tell
Oh.
me they weren't.
Are you kidding
I
me?
was so horny for that guy. And I was in
Me
7th grade. I didn't
too.
even have.
Gregory Peck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wanted-
7th grade was when I did the play. But like, yeah, Gregory Peck in that role.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, he was so handsome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Louis
yeah,
C.K. had a great joke about the parents born in the 1920s. Their parents. How do you expect them to be good when their parents
Yes.
were like killing Native Americans openly? Like that's just what they did. If you were
so
if you were
true.
alive in
Yeah.
the 1890s, you'd be like, there's a native savage on my lawn. And they just shoot them, and that was just what you're expected to do.
It wasn't that long ago. And like, even this weekend, Ari made some joke about like, oh, and I'm sure we were talking about like some people who aren't smart. They're like, yeah, I'm sure they think the Holocaust was in the 60s. And I go, it kind of almost was. And he looked at me like, what? And I was like, 15 years off. And it would have been the 60s. It's not that far
It
off.
really is
15 years
amazing
ago
how close-
was 2009.
Yeah.
That's not that. If you say reference something to 2009, that's not a long time. So it basically was the 60s. Like throw it all together. Like
Yeah.
time is
It wasn't that long ago. That's all we know.
no, nothing. We haven't been around that long.
No.
Like, do you know like if you look at like that whole continuum of like how long life has been or the planet versus how much humans have been
Oh, yeah.
here?
Oh, right.
It's like
Drop in the
a
bucket.
sand of
Yeah.
a speck of sand
right.
on like a mile long thing. It's crazy.
We're nothing.
David Spade has a really good joke about talking about he talks about the submarine. He goes, let's talk about that submarine that went down the Titanic. I miss that crazy little sub. I can't stop thinking about it. And he's like, because he does this bit about where he's like, let's talk about things in the news. And it's all just like stuff from a year and a half ago, you know? Right. And, but he's talking about the submarine and he's like, and you know, when that happened, they had the graph of like, how far down they were, and they're like, "Oh, that's the Statue of Liberty. No, that's 3 Statue of Liberties. That's where sharks get headaches." Like, and sharks get headaches is so funny to me. He does it much better, but it's so funny. But him just saying, "I miss that crazy little sub." I wrote that in my phone because I was like, I don't know if he'll ever put it in a special, and I want to remember the way he says that forever.
That's so funny.
I miss that crazy little sub.
That blew up.
That oh my god, Bill Dixon was
Imploded.
our friend Brian Bill Dixon. One time we had a discussion about what that was like when those people died.
Oh, hopefully.
And
it
we
was
all
so
wish
fast.
it was just so fast, but he has this theory that it wasn't.
Oh, they say it was really fast.
Oh,
So, but
he
he's
has
got a different theory,
that
huh?
it wasn't.
Okay.
And it's so horrifying. And
Oh.
sometimes he'll
don't
just
wanna-
text me out of the blue, like, "Hey, just remember that it was likely." And I don't even want to describe it because I don't want to put this in people's heads that any humans experience it because it's so dark. But just imagine what would happen if it suddenly just lost power and just started nosediving to the bottom of the ocean very
Wow.
slowly.
Oh, slowly, damn.
Slowly, and there's only one bathroom on the thing, and the bathroom's at the top. That's all spilling. Like they're just all in the bottom of
jeez.
this thing that's kind of like a
Make it even
torpedo
worse.
shape,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And it's just going down slowly, and they all know
God.
they're dying.
I
Like
don't want to
it's.
think about those poor
Well, I
people.
just put it out there. So anyway, sometimes he'll just like text me this, like almost like he's writing a script of what the movie would look like, and I'm just like, stop. It's really.
Oh
it's,
my God.
It's fun.
He
for
sounds
him.
funny though.
Yeah. But we're talking about crazy. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to break, and I'm so sorry to leave that thought in your heads. Listen to some commercials.
Listen, I
to,
have
like,
other thoughts in my head.
cheer you up. Okay, we'll get to those when we
No,
get back.
I wouldn't even repeat them.
All right, we're back. Wait, what's one thought that circles through your mind that's so bad?
Well, no, your dad and I were watching The Boys last night.
Do you watch that, Brian?
No, I think it probably got a little bit better after the first few episodes, and I checked out too soon.
You gave up. Yeah.
It's really
That happens a lot to
good,
me.
but there's some really graphic scenes in some of these, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like this one scene I will never be able to get out of my head.
No, really?
Yeah, I think it's permeated my brain.
What does it involve? Can you give us some?
It involves this one super hero. Well, they call them superheroes, but this one guy who can divide himself, divide, and then I don't even want to repeat it, but they are all giving each other sex, lined up, and they're all exactly the same person, but they're all in love with this one woman superhero. So they all are getting off on this one
I
woman.
can't even imagine what you're talking about. Is it like a
They're all
human
lined up
centipede of the
behind
same
each other.
person?
They're
Oh.
they're all the exact same, but they can divide themselves. So,
So they're all banging each other,
they're not banging each other. They're doing something else.
blowing.
No, eating.
Oh, eating ass.
Yes.
Oh, so it's human centipede.
Yeah. Oh, is that something?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
whoa,
my God.
man. Talk about things you don't want to think about. When Human Centipede
okay.
came out, I was like,
Oh,
That
I
shatters
was reading the
anything
Wikipedia.
like this.
I remember where I was. I was in bed in Astoria.
I'm sorry,
in
I'm-
2010,
anybody listening
and
that
I'm
I
like,
saw this and
what?
described
No,
that.
everyone knows Human Centipede,
I've
and that's
never
what it is.
heard of this. And
Do you?
never-
Can I just describe
Well,
what Human
human
Centipede
centipede is worse than what she
It's
just
so
described.
much worse.
What she's
It's-
describing is consensual ass eating, which I think,
Yeah,
in like
by
a-
someone who like to themselves.
yeah, and like sort of a train.
Yeah, I guess that's what.
Okay, Human Centipede. This is wild. It's a horror movie, okay?
Okay.
And these three people end up at this crazy guy's I don't know how they end up there, but this crazy guy sedates them and they wake up and
Oh, I don't want to know.
their faces are
Yes.
stitched to the asshole of the person in front of them.
Stitched.
Stitched.
So,
So
it's
they're
a
open
human
mouths.
centipede. So their open mouths are right on the anus. So
Okay.
that when that person it's going there. And then someone is on the back of them stitched.
Oh, okay.
And
so
it's
it goes all through them.
yes, how are you not blacking out? The first time I heard this, I couldn't even
Wait, but it's not real.
no, but I mean like that someone thought of that and then
Oh,
made
yeah.
a movie where you see it.
Yeah. It's that visual. If you see it, I saw this,
Yeah.
and now I'm kind of like, oh God.
I think even thinking it,
It's really.
Did you
gross.
watch the movie, Brian? Did
Of
you see
course I did it.
You
But
did?
The
Oh,
first
did it?
person. No,
What
the
movie
first
is
person.
this that I don't ever want to
It's
watch?
literally
Human
called
Centipede.
Human Centipede.
Okay.
The first
Will
person is
not
being force
ever
fed
see it.
also, so that they have to shit.
it? Oh no, I
Yeah.
didn't know that part, Brian.
Oh my God! Nobody's going to listen to this.
The big
podcast
debate
ever again.
in middle school was where would you rather be in the Human Centipede?
I was just gonna ask
Oh,
that.
you knew about this in high school?
Middle
and you want to
school.
be I want to be
Middle
force,
school.
I want to be
Oh.
force fed. I mean, I don't want to do that to my friends,
Oh my gosh!
but I mean, of course, you want to be the first one.
of
Yeah.
course you want to be the first one.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, that's it. I mean, the worst is the
Oh,
middle.
I've never heard of anything like this. And
Oh,
Well, is the
man.
middle any worse than the last one? I mean, is it really that bad that you're shitting into someone else's mouth?
It would just hurt. The stitches would hurt on your
The
butt.
stitches
and
would hurt on
you
your
have
butt.
one less pair of stitches.
Yeah, that's true. But the farther back you go, you're also getting just like reprocessed and eaten and digested
Okay.
shit.
Well, let's talk about the
Okay,
trip.
that is
We're going
really-
to Dublin.
Okay.
We're going to Amsterdam.
Can we
We're
cut
going
that?
to Zurich.
Isn't that where
Wh-
Human Centipede took place? Was
That's
Amsterdam?
where it
Yeah,
started.
honestly, it's not far off from where I think this is all set. This is why I don't like horror films. Why would anyone subject themselves to this?
Yeah.
and see
I
this stuff?
hate horror
There's a new
films.
one with Nicolas Cage where it's like people were puking in the aisles.
Oh, I don't like
Four
any-
women miscarried during the
None.
trailer. It's like they keep trying to like up themselves of like this is the sickest thing you'll ever see.
No, why? I don't get it. I don't like. I have probably seen 5 horror movies in my life, and
Yeah.
I refuse to
Scary,
watch any.
but we were just talking about Scream the other day and how perfect that
I would never
movie
watch
is.
that.
It's so good.
I don't care.
Because you don't understand. You
just
watch my mom's. This is so ironic because my mom's
This is kinda
favorite TV
weird.
shows
Yeah.
are
Murder
First 48,
mysteries.
like hardcore ones, the ones that are like gruesome and get into details and show.
Those are real though.
Yeah. Okay. Ari, not calling Ari psychopathic for denting a Kit Kat.
No, this
You want 'em
usually they
real.
get solved.
No, I get when
they
it's
get
real.
solved.
But you like watching like Law and Order and stuff. That's not real.
No, I don't watch that anymore.
I don't either. Too.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't, and I don't watch anything.
I'll tell you this new
Nicolas
Jake-
Cage is in.
This new Jake Gyllenhaal thing.
What's going
What
on?
is this?
Presumed Innocent. Good
yeah.
show.
Oh.
Good show on Apple. Check that
Okay.
out.
It's really
What
a waste
else?
of time to smash a Kit Kat because they're impossible to eat. They always melt too quickly and stick to the wrappers.
Yeah.
You need a Big Cat, as we all know. The Big
Oh,
Cat
yeah,
is a
you love
superior
Big
Kit
Cats.
Kat. Kit Kats are useless.
I kind of liked
Big Cat.
Big Cat is just a giant
Kit Kats
Kat.
melt
Never
too
seen.
quickly, and then you open the wrapper and it's just a mush of Human Centipede shit.
No.
Yes.
They don't melt too quickly. If you
Oh
just keep
my
them
God.
in a room temperature and you don't travel all over with them, and also if you just eat them as soon as you get them feverishly and very fast before they have time to melt.
If
like
I opened mine and mine had a finger indentation in it,
I'd still
I-
eat it, but I'd be pissed.
I would march it back.
Yeah, it just like makes people's lives.
It's just
More
a little
difficult.
angst ridden.
And when you're buying something to
You
like
tell
snack, like
Ari.
oh no, believe me,
I'm not kidding.
he got shamed out of
He
it
was
yet
shamed.
again.
He's never going to
Yeah,
rob a
hit
store
the
again.
family shamed.
Yeah,
Family shame.
He brought shame upon his family that day.
I did get to watch something yesterday that I think was interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of like going back to 2009, I went back to 2016 and I watched Dave Chappelle's SNL monologue. Do you remember that? It was like the
no.
day after Trump got elected, or 2 days after Trump got elected.
What? Really?
Dave Chappelle was the host of SNL, and he did like a State of the Nation type monologue on
Oh
SNL.
my God! Yes.
It was so interesting. And then 4 years later in 2020, after Biden got elected, he was hosting SNL again.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and so I watched those two back to back, and it was like, it was
Night and
fascinating. Well, if you're trying to figure out who you want to vote for, let's just put it that way, in 2024, go back and watch the monologue from 2016 because you might forget what your state of mind was like during that time, and watching that monologue from 2016 will put you right back into where you were, and it'll make
When he was our president.
Good
when
advice.
he was just elected, and it'll make you remember like, oh, this might not be what I want to go
This
back
is scary.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got. What were some points that he made or said?
Well, what was interesting was in the 2016 monologue, he was like, I'm going to give Trump a chance. Like, he deserves a chance.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone was kind of like, oh,
Our
this is all we
mindset
can
was
do.
like, this is crazy that he won. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
really like Hillary. She was a bad candidate. And then, we all thought Trump was crazy, and obviously had like the grab the pussy stuff and things like that, where we're all like, this probably is not a good decision. But I think even me back in 2016 was like, I'm going to give him a shot. Like, he could wind up being okay. Or it's not going to be, I didn't think initially it was going to be an epic disaster. So I was like Chappelle. But then in 2020, Chappelle comes back and now Biden's elected. And I think watching that also just puts you back in that headspace. What it was like the day after Biden was elected. And I think overall the takeaway is like, I just don't want to talk about politics anymore. And
I don't either.
I don't want the chaos. And so the relief of just like a normal guy was prevalent
was
during that
what we
monologue.
all were seeking in
Yeah.
that moment. Oh, I
Yep.
remember that so much. The day Trump was elected, I had to go on Chelsea Handler's Netflix show. She had a talk show on Netflix, and Hillary is supposed to win, right? So it was supposed to be like this like amazing day. Barbara Boxer, was on.
That's right.
The California's senator.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Chelsea's best friend, who played Marsha. I forget her name. Shit, it's her best friend, but she's an actress.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot her name. For some reason, I'm
Sorry, I
thinking of
should
Marsha
remember
Brady,
this.
but that's like not who.
That wouldn't be it.
Yeah, but she like reminds me of either Christine Taylor or the girl who plays Marsha Brady. Anyway, she was on too. We show up and I'm like, oh, I should find like a funereal type
that's
like
right.
lace like thing to wear in front of my like Jackie O.
Right.
Like just like because they were all we did creative call and they're like Chelsea is like really bummed and this show is gonna be tough and so I decided to lean into that to just be funny because they were like we're gonna need you to bring the comedy because Chelsea can't right now. And I walked out and Chelsea didn't say anything about my outfit. And so I was like, she was just too like
She was
stricken to be funny or like even
a sad day.
I'd be like, oh, there, Nikki's wearing a joke. Like it just wasn't the time. So I felt like I bombed so much on that show that day. And then
Too bad she didn't acknowledge it. Or
it was just like it just
or Barbara
was.
Boxer didn't acknowledge it.
I ended up saying something about it because I was like, I'm not going to just sit here and act like I chose to wear this. Like I think I made the joke that I was going to wear this either way. I just think this is a cool style or something. It was I don't remember, but I rarely go back and revisit things, but I will say, and I said it on last week's episode, I am so, like, comedy-wise, I think things don't hold up as much as you want them to, even in a short amount of time. Jiminy Glick holds up so fucking well, and I think it might be the funniest thing that's ever been.
You know how I feel about him.
Yeah. You got me into him. Because he used to have that Comedy Central show where he would interview people, and now that he is coming back with
I
this
have all
again,
the DVDs.
Yeah, we had them all. We loved it.
Yeah,
it was so good. Brian, were you into Jimmy Glick before? Like,
sure,
you've known of him.
Yes, of course. I know Jiminy Glick.
I think it's one of the funniest things.
It's one of the. I haven't laughed that hard for a while.
Yeah.
And just watching
I
him.
will watch anything that
Anybody
that
he
Martin Short
interviews.
does in that character. And Martin Short really in anything. The bloopers there's not a bloopers, but him roasting Conan throughout the years. That is an amazing compilation that people should go watch.
Now,
But
you know he's hosting this week.
for Kimmel, yeah.
Cool.
He's doing a pretty good job.
Jiminy Glick had his own show for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It was
fascinating.
so funny. I just love when he stuffs his face with donuts. I love when he shifts in his chair and then the chair will topple over. I'm obsessed. I've been watching a lot of Norm compilations as well.
Oh,
And those have been really fun. And it's so funny because my friend Sean O'Connor, who I'm like bring on the road with me to is like my writing, helping me write some stuff. He is. I will fall asleep to like a Norm compilation that's like 10 hours long. No joke. Those are the Joan Rivers one is 10 hours long. I'm getting through. I'm like slowly working my way through 10 hours of her and Howard Stern.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I just want to absorb everything. And that's where people are most free in themselves. And like, she's just amazing on that. And he loved her so much. And I love him. But anyway, the Norm ones, I'm listening and Sean, my friend, who I've known since we met on MySpace, 2006, I've known him. He's on all of these Norm interviews because Norm would bring him on the road to open for him and then would bring him to all of these TV interviews, these like local TV interviews. So Sean's just like in all these clips. Did
you not know that?
No. I like,
He's never told you that.
No, but I mean, I knew he toured with Norm, but I wouldn't be watching like Wake Up Toronto. Like I would have never seen that
I
clip
see what you're
ever
saying.
unless someone had pulled it and
that's
put
so
it into a
cool.
compilation. So it's like kind of fun to see your friend like end up in these things. And man, Norm is so fucking funny. Seemed like such a nice guy. Yeah. So I've been watching that, and then Chris and I are watching this Dallas Cowboys documentary, which is really good, really well
right.
done, and I recommend it to everyone. I think men
Now that
and
you're
women
into
alike.
football.
Yeah, it doesn't even talk about football. It's like really, I wish they talked more about football actually, but they're not allowed to fraternize with football players. These girls can't
Interesting.
catch a break. They don't get paid a lot. They work their asses off. They all have like 2
cheerleaders.
jobs. And they
It's
cheerlead.
about the
Yeah.
cheerleaders?
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
think-
so hard. And top it all off, you don't even have a chance to marry one of these fucking football players.
Really? They
Yeah, because they're not allowed to fraternize with them, which I guess means haze them. Make them carry an egg between their ass cheeks. I'm thinking of fraternize. Makes me think of
that's what they do. in
do
this
keg
crowd.
stands with them.
Paddle.
But like,
smack their asses with a big wooden
Like-
paddle.
that to me is kind of just a dated bullshit thing of like a rule of like these women are going to throw these men off their game and
they're gonna
distract them.
They're gonna start fighting each other for the woman's love.
Yeah, like why can't they try to fuck the football players?
They're not virgins.
I
It's
want
not
that
like-
for them.
It's not like those football players are all virgins. Like a bunch
No,
of virgin nerds that see
exactly.
tits and they're like going
And, like,
insane.
It'll be distracting if they're like the guys on the sidelines and sees his lady like pom-pomming out there. Like that could be a distraction.
Yeah, but they
Someone
also
else
have
is
their
looking-
wives and
They
girlfriends
also
are out
exactly. I don't
Both
get it.
of them.
I don't get it. I think it's actually a way to like you women don't ever want
don't deserve it.
Don't want this job for anything except the love of dance.
Yeah, but
because there's
dance.
nothing else in it for
There's no
you.
money.
You get to wear boots. You get to wear an outfit. We'll make that outfit fit your body perfectly. And we will, give you a locker and we'll give you, $70 a game or whatever the fuck they
I
make.
have a
Wait, they
question.
make nothing.
Did you
Nothing. They
learn?
make
Did these
nothing.
girls get to promote themselves as Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, like on social media,
Yeah.
or can they go to a car wash or something like that and
Make
make
some
money
Make an
because they're a
I don't know
cheerleader?
about that. I don't know about appearances. I would think that all is run through the Dallas Cowboys organization and that they take the money from that. I would almost I'm certain of it.
Do you think this is
These
across
girls-
the board for
Yeah,
all football teams?
No, this is just all I only know. This
A lot
from
of the teams
DCC.
don't even have cheerleaders anymore. They eliminated
Yeah.
the cheerleading squad.
because
Yeah.
they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Because these guys,
They
you
can't
can't
fly
afford a
'em to the
little bit
games.
more when you like. They have so much money that they hold out on these girls. And in this whole documentary, it's about we take this seriously. You should take them seriously. And it's like, well, then why aren't they paid?
Mm-hmm.
Well. At all.
Do they talk about what they're paid?
I'm supposed to take them seriously as athletes. I'm supposed to take them seriously as women who do good for the community and empower young women and take them so seriously. Like this Netflix documentary is shot like it's like the Olympic, like it really is the Olympics of dancing to make this. It's as far as you can make in this kind. It's a special kind of dance. It's hyper competitive. Yet we're not going to pay them. So I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I think these women need to get paid more. I think this whole documentary is like kind of making us love the Dallas Cowboys and have it's such brand. Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I even want to go to a Dallas Cowboys game so I can see these girls.
It's a great
Pay
stadium.
the fucking cheerleaders now, because now you're going to get fans of these girls from the Netflix show. Pay them whatever they're making right now. You could times 100 you could afford to do that. Just cut back on one of the markups of your popcorn.
One player.
Make your popcorn $1 more and play all literally make your large popcorn $1 more and pay all of the girls triple what you pay them, because that literally would cover that by far.
The
Just think about
$1
it.
would make it
And
triple.
make that the special. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would triple. It would pay for it.
Those
so there you
girls-
go. Then it'll pay for it.
They
You-
probably can't even hold another job.
but they like it because it's servitude. They like.
Right. But
I'm sorry. I love this show, and I would dream of being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. But they are using these women, and they make them do things that ruin and wreck their bodies, and then they spit them out. And these women don't really have another plan, and they can't really. Yes, these women are incredible, and a lot of them are working 2 jobs while doing this, and they find it to be an honor, and they never fucking complain. None of them ever complain, even once. I'm the only one complaining about this. I guarantee you. But they have to have those other jobs because they have nothing after
They
this,
have
and
no
they're spit out.
pay.
And yes, they get to come back as veterans and march in and like welcome the new girls and give a little speech about how much it means, and you get to kind of like come to some of the bridal showers and things and stay connected like through the veteran program. But you got fucked. They should have paid you more. You worked your asses off. You are now a commodity for them big time after this Netflix show. Girls, get together, team up, and ask for more.
You wanted them
Yeah.
to unionize.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, they could. For the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they're such an
Absolutely.
institution. Other teams realized that if they got rid of the cheerleaders, nobody would care. And so they just got rid of them.
Yeah, but not the Dallas Cowboys. These DCCs,
Yeah.
people need you. You have power.
They're famous,
and
as far
especially
as-
after the show, like we want to go see the girls that we saw in the show. So girls, get paid, And you know who else I hope got paid?
Who?
Was I'm sorry to say it, you know that Netflix doc, Tell Them You Love Me. It's really controversial, but it's about this woman who was helping a disabled man who is nonverbal and had never spoken in his life. And she does this kind of therapy, assisted therapy, where they hold their hand and the person like spells out something
Okay.
and communicate. Well, they kind of then she falls in love with this guy who's nonverbal.
Wow.
It's inconclusive, even though it was found by law that she did take advantage of him, and she was sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Okay.
For because they determined that he doesn't know how to communicate at all, and she was moving his hand. But she, in her mind, I do
Wow.
believe, thinks that he was in love with her.
What
She
a
didn't know that
rom-com.
she was controlling his hand. It's insane
What did she take advantage of, though?
because he's disabled
I know, but what, 8 years in prison for what?
for raping a disabled person.
She raped him?
They had
Yeah.
sex.
Rape. Ooh.
But even kissing, I mean, is not okay. Like even doing anything with a disabled person that isn't something that they either
and then you just move their hand, and then I
you
wonder
say
if,
yes.
like, if you could do that to like a Helen Keller type, and I wonder if I heard.
That's
something
why I
about
look
that.
back on Helen Keller and I'm like, I'm suspicious now if that was even.
Was she saying water?
I'm honestly, because they kind of discover that a lot of this assisted therapies where these people are learning to talk for the first time because these therapists hold their hand and they kind of direct the thing, that a lot of these therapists don't even know that they are actually assisting them because they'll
What a
show the
hell.
therapist a picture, they'll show the patient a picture, and the therapist will do the hat, but they'll show a picture of grapes to the thing, and they'll go, okay, what did you see? And she writes hat, and the woman
Yeah,
did not.
you could
She
easily
did not
do-
see hat.
She's like, help me, and the assistant's like, she's saying water. She
Yep.
just thinks water.
Yeah,
Help me,
or
my
she's not
assistant
thinking
is-
fucking anything.
Ugh.
You know,
But didn't
this-
didn't she write books for Helen Keller? Or am I mixing that up?
Yeah,
with
but I'm
someone?
saying like that could have been Annie, her helper, writing.
Wow,
those books,
she wrote
is
the
what I'm
books.
saying. Like, no, I'm not saying that. But now that you kind of piece this apart, you go like, oh, like they're the only ones that can understand the language they've invented to speak to this person. They could just tell us anything they want.
What about that
Right.
gorilla? I mean, was that gorilla
Yeah, it's
for
just
real?
Coco or whatever.
Didn't he love Robin Williams?
They said,
Yeah, he did. It looked like he
loved
did.
Jack.
oh, Robin
And
Williams.
Hook, I know Robin Williams. Robin Williams, I say anytime his name comes up, he did not commit suicide. His brain had a
What?
brain disease that caused him to commit
Well,
suicide.
he had dementia. He had Lewy
He
body.
had dementia.
I mean,
which
one
is
of the worst types that you can have, and a very rare
Lewy
type.
body dementia.
Oh,
Yes. And it is horrible. And when he was finally autopsied, they said his dementia was worse than any they'd seen in a living person. The guy who
my-
did it was like, I've never seen this advance of a disease. That's how good his brain was that he was operating to that point.
Oh,
But it
my
usually ends in
God.
something like this. But I will say that if you commit suicide, no matter what, there's something wrong with your brain. So it doesn't like take away from suicide was the means by which he died, but it's his brain's fault, not his. He didn't want it's like when people are like depression knows no bounds, and he's always like in one of those pictures of like a smiling celebrity, like you don't know who has depression. Like I agree with that statement, but he doesn't fit it. He wasn't a depressed person. I mean I think he probably was because he was an addict. So like
He was
But he
probably
did-
depressed because he was out of control in his brain.
it could have been that, but it could have been like the disease makes you do that. Who knows?
It makes you hallucinate, and he was hallucinating. And
Yeah.
you lose your ability to make cognitive thought, and like that's like a curse beyond comprehension for someone like Robin Williams when you're just
Yeah.
not as crisp as you're
Oh my
celebrated for being the fastest mind in the comedy
that is
world.
so true, Brian. He lost the one thing that he's like.
It's one of my
"Ugh."
worst fears, even though
It'd be
like,
like
I know
him
I'm
losing
not
his arm
as
hair.
crisp as anybody, but
Yeah.
it's one of my worst fears to lose that aspect. Like there are certain
Yeah.
dementias or like Parkinson's disease and stuff like that. You lose your bodily ability, but your mental ability stays the same. I think
Oh no!
that to me is better than losing your mental ability.
I know, but the other one you don't even know what's happening. Hopefully, let's go to break and talk about lighter things when we get back.
Speaking of Robin Williams, I rewatched The Birdcage.
Oh yeah, Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
That holds up big time.
I remember really enjoying that at an age where I was like, I don't even think I'm supposed to like that this
Yeah.
much.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 7th grade or something, and I was
Yeah.
like, I love this. I don't even know what this is, but I like it. Nathan Lane's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin Williams is like this as a gay man. Nathan Lane is his boyfriend, or was not.
They're
they
like
were friends?
partners. Yeah, they're
Okay.
partners, and they raised a child together who was birthed by this woman that had a one-night stand with Robin Williams when they were younger.
Oh,
Yeah. And the
Oh, I
woman
forgot
comes
about
back and
that.
plays a role also. But
got it. Who plays the woman? Is she still around? Probably not.
she's definitely still around. I forgot her name.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I remember seeing that back in the day.
Yeah, I remember it was kind
Where's
of
Nathan Lane
one
been?
of the first like openly gay,
Yes,
older
movies.
kind of
Where you're like,
guys.
this is like mainstream gay.
Yeah, like this is normal. kind
Yeah,
of.
well, it was around the
Oh,
Will and
and,
Grace time of like gay.
Callista
yeah?
Flockhart was in it, and she was like really
Yes. Yes.
She was like the
she
18-year-old
was the daughter?
wife. She was the
No, she's the
potential
young-
wife of the
That's right.
of the son of the gay couple.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the mother
okay.
was played by
That's right, he has
Christine
that.
Baranski.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
love Christine
okay.
Baranski.
Yeah.
Still around,
Yeah.
very much around.
She's
She's
still-
one of the few
Older
actresses
women that
can
are still-
maintained it.
Yeah.
Was she in like Ab Fab?
No, but she
She kind of
feels
reminds me of
like
that. Did she play a
girl.
character like that? That's like Honey. Like what was her first character that was kind of like that? I don't know. But Will and Grace, I loved that show so fucking much, and it holds up
Yeah.
so much. And that was, I mean, that was groundbreaking. Ellen
Yeah.
came out, then there was then Will and Grace, I think. But people were not out in my high school. Gay was not like like it was still not a thing that people were like out about.
But it wasn't too far after you left that it was.
No, literally, I
very-
talked to someone who graduated a year later than me, and they're like, "We had one gay person our senior year." I'm like, "Oh, it literally began after I
Yeah,
graduated."
because
where-
I mean, the principal was like open to it.
I graduated in 2002, by the way, for anyone asking. Yeah,
I mean, he was like, "We're having a club."
I was in. That was in my year. That was Gay Straight Alliance, and you were mad I was in it because you were scared people would think I was gay because it was a
No,
different time. And you, I remember you saying, "I don't care if you're gay. I just don't want you to have a harder life."
Oh,
Yeah, and you
I might have said that.
I go, Mom, I'm straight, but it's the Gay Straight Alliance. You can be in it. And because it was this big uproar, like there were all these like Republican moms and Christian moms being like, we need to get this out of the schools. And it was like being brought up at PTO meetings. So my mom was like just hearing these women's rhetoric, and she was like, I just don't want people to think you're gay. And I was like, I'm straight. It says it in the name. And she goes, oh, really? Are you walking around all day going, I'm the essence, the GPS. I'm the GSA. I'm the S. And we were like, yeah, Mom, we walk around like this. And me and Taylor would do this and go like, we're the straight. And I wanted to be gay so fucking bad
Aw.
in high school because I wanted because I not
come on.
and I'm not minimizing how hard it would have been to be gay, but there was something I wanted to be something that I knew you would still like have to love me, but you'd be like kind of mad at me even though it's not my fault. Like if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like I like
You
when
kind of got that a little bit when you decided to be a comedian.
yeah, it's not my fault. No, I could have chosen something else.
Oh yeah. Well,
No, this was all.
I wasn't
meant to
born this
be.
way.
that's true.
You were.
But I guess you're kind of right. Like I couldn't have been when we went to go visit. I'll never forget. We went to
What?
visit Miami of Ohio for the
Yeah.
college tour. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be something big. Like I wanted it to be a big thing. And they were touring this campus, and I was just like, not here. I'm not going to school in Ohio, even though I ended up in Kansas. And it's a beautiful school. They were like, now we have a paper program that after you graduate with a undergrad in this paper making engineering program, you are guaranteed $100,000 salary. And my mom goes, Nikki, do it. I was like, what? Have I ever shown any interest in making paper? Why would you
man.
want that for me? I remember being so
I still
mad
think it's not too late.
because I was just like, why? I felt so unseen. I'm like, you would want your daughter to make paper for the rest of her life.
You can make $100,000
but
right
your
off the
point was you just
bat.
wanted me to be financially secure.
I
sure.
just wanted you to make some
Yeah.
money. That sounded great to me.
I am. I'm looking at houses. Chris and I are looking at
Oh,
houses to
shit.
buy.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
In St. Louis?
In St. Louis. Yeah, because even if I end up moving to LA or New York, I will just have a house. Like everyone says, a
House
house
is a
is
good
just like
investment.
a bank.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
like putting your
I-
money in a building.
It's an
I agree
investment.
with that.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw one today that would, and Chris was like, well, we could build that thing. Like, I'm like, it doesn't have a place where you can really like cozily watch TV, like a really nice, cozy off this, like people can't see it from the street area, whatever. And he's like, well, we could build that out. And I looked at the realtor who's also a contractor, and I was like, how long would that take? Because I like don't want to, if I want to buy a
6
house, I like
months?
want it right away. And she was like, that's a 9-month build. And I was like, nah, I want
Get
a la
something
carte
that's already
off the
done.
menu done. Like I want a la carte is not what I'm trying to say. I
No,
want
you
what's
don't
it
want
called?
You
Bespoke.
Want,
Curbside. No,
Curbside.
not bespoke.
you want
What's it called when you just take what you like key in?
You wanna steal.
Lock
Oh, you-
key. Turnkey.
turnkey.
Turnkey. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we got it. We got
Benedict
it. All of us
Arnold.
together. Yeah.
No, that's what I would go for. Something you don't have to work
Yeah,
on.
I just want it to be nice. So we're even looking in near you.
Oh shit!
I know. That would be so fun.
What about Tim
Yeah.
Convey's neighborhood? That's a nice neighborhood.
I
Well,
know,
that's
isn't it
probably
so
what he's
nice?
talking about. She's-
No. We're looking in your neck of the woods. Honestly,
Wow.
those are some nice houses, and with like a ton of space. And St. Louis is fairly cheap, and I'm like, this would be
compared to
kinda
California?
And I with
Oy
a dog,
vey.
it's you know what it's like, Brian. Like when Jack has to go outside to go pee, it's not
Yeah.
just open the door, see you in a second. I'll just. That's all the work you have to do, which is nice when you have a dog like that. It's every time they have to go pee, you have to go walk down a hallway, which mine is a 10th of a mile to walk down this hallway.
Yep.
Then it's you walk, take the elevator. I'm on the tallest. It's a minute. Like it's like a lot of time.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
complaining.
4
but
times a day.
This dog is making me want at least. I probably do it 6 or 8.
I always
'cause I'm
wondered how
obsessive.
far it was from there.
I think
to-
it's a 10th of a mile.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Man,
from to the elevator.
it's a while.
It's so far.
So
When
then
I
that's
was-
2/10.
When I was growing up, my dog had a doggy door, so you didn't even have to open the door. He would just have
Oh,
she
that's a
would just have free
dream.
reign to run in and
Oh my
out whenever
God.
she
And-
wanted. But you can't do that in California because there's coyotes, especially if you have a small dog.
Small dog. I know.
yeah.
I would get her a coyote vest. Remember when I had that for Luigi?
Yeah, but you can't
Back in the
keep it
Nazis.
on the dog at all times.
No, I'd make her wear it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was thinking I could just get a big spike on her collar
One big spike. So if the
That's not
coyote
going to
tries
deter. That's yeah.
because she doesn't really eat
They
it. Because
just
that's
go
where
at the back end.
but it might just like they might see the spike and be like, nope, not going for that.
It'd have to be covered.
That's a good point, Brian. I
Armored.
think even owls in St. Louis, like I've
yeah,
went on
no,
an
a
owl
small dog
excursion.
can get a bird of prey could
If you
pick
got
up your
eaten by
dog.
an owl,
Yeah.
I would. I don't know what I'd do.
Oh, it's.
I'm almost scared how much I
I'm
love
afraid
her.
to let Marion out by
Yeah.
herself.
Well, now she's so fat. The owl would have to be.
No, it's
doing
not. I'm not
fucking-
talking about an owl. I'm talking
The
about
owls
like a
and-
big hawk.
A
CrossFit.
raptor.
Even
pick
even
her
a raccoon.
Sure, a raccoon
go
could
in.
do it too. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she's fine. She's,
But we have fox in our neighborhood.
Fox.
Yeah. Final thought. I like. Isn't it foxes or are you pluralizing?
Foxin.
And I think pluralize. is
No,
not a
it's
word either.
foxes.
Fox. I think it's foxes,
Foxin.
but you said it as like we have Fox.
It's just that's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you do
It's
have Fox
You
on
get the
TV.
station, Fox News.
Yeah, Fox.
Oh, please.
A quick
I
quick
knew it.
quiz.
Even bringing her up.
I
Okay,
know.
quick quiz. Yes.
What culture/country invented paper?
I'm gonna say
Egyptians.
Egyptians. That's a really good guess
Papyrus.
because they have papyrus. That's a really good guess.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
a really
Sumerians.
good guess.
Sumerians because they invented language or the first early recorded language.
And because I also couldn't come up with an early civilization other than those two.
Okay.
Um,
any other guesses?
Incans, the
Chinese.
China.
It's Chinese.
Chinese is correct. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, the Chinese invented paper. That's it. That's all I have to say about it.
That's a good. Yeah, it came to me after I thought about it.
We
for a
did an
second.
episode. Adam Ruins Everything had a cartoon spin-off called, I don't know what it was called, but we would do like little things in history. And one of the episodes I wrote was about the invention of paper. So now I know
Oh,
that.
cool. So you just knew that offhand. I thought you looked that up. I was like, oh, good for you.
Do you know
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, he wrote on Adam Ruins
Oh
Everything.
my God,
He
Brian!
writes with Adam regularly. He does anything Adam touches. this
Oh
guy's
my
been a part
God,
of.
that's so cool.
Isn't it
Yeah.
so cool?
Yes, I love him,
I know, we do.
and it's because what he says
Yes.
and his verbiage. Because you wrote it,
Yeah.
Brian's an amazing comedy writer.
Brian.
That's
well,
right.
I knew
You
that.
knew that, but
but
like, yeah,
this
you didn't
has
know
really
how.
pumped it up.
Oh my God. You just thought F Boy Island. You,
I
like,
thought,
nailed
oh my
those,
God, no, that's
elimination ceremony intros. We did do some fun ones.
I
We
just
did some
watched-
fun stuff on
Lovers
and
and Liars.
Liars,
I
which
just
is
watched
available on the
that
CW app. Yeah,
last night.
they didn't nominate me for an Emmy.
What the fuck?
It's too expensive, I guess, to nominate.
You gotta pay.
Yeah,
Why don't you pay?
I would have if I knew that was holding it back. Because I can't imagine it was more than
mean-
like $1,200 or something.
Oh
yeah.
my
Well, then
God.
on top of that, you got to kind of pay to campaign. You have to do FYCs.
Oh, you have to campaign.
I
having
wouldn't have
billboards.
campaigned. I would have just been like, oh, my name. I just would have at least. I just want to be even have a chance.
But
you know,
that's
my
what
name-
it takes. That's what it takes. It's all
But I-
political.
I understand
Oh,
that,
God,
but
I
I
didn't
just
know
I
that.
wouldn't have done it. But I think if people, the way I was voting on some of those, I'm like, oh, I know this person, and I just click it. Like I could have
Yeah.
had a chance at least. This way, I have no chance. It's not like a write-in.
But I mean, that's really bad that they didn't even
Listen, it didn't do well for them, and I understand.
Well, I gotta
them
tell
not-
you, I don't know.
You love it.
I love that show.
I know.
I love Casey.
Yes.
I love what's the other guy's name? Not
CJ.
CJ.
no
Benedict.
Benedict.
Benny's the boy.
We love Benedict.
I love him. I just love those guys.
He's a comedian, Benedict.
Yeah,
I knew
He's
he went
really funny.
Indianapolis.
open for you.
You got to
I just-
follow him on Instagram. He's
Oh,
great.
I should follow him.
And Casey's adorable and so great.
Ow.
And
Really, I mean, those guys are really good guys.
and CJ was a sweetheart. I mean, I was so happy going into that season of the show because we taped that show right after F Boy.
Right.
So we went right into F Girl, and I was so excited because I just knew the
You
three
knew those
guys
guys
already.
were good.
Because I just worked with CJ on the prior one, and so we were so excited that those were the guys.
The other
And-
CJ, there's a woman CJ too, who's also a comedian.
CJ Franco. Yes.
She's on the latest The Goat, which is
The
also
Goat.
a Bill Dixon, Elon Gale production.
Yeah, I wrote Bill and I go, why is Daniel Tosh nominated? What? And he goes,
Was
it's
he?
a different network. Yeah.
Oh man,
Daniel Tosh, not nominated, but he's up for he's not, what's it called to be nominated to be nominated? I don't even know.
your candidate.
Yeah, he's a candidate
Yeah.
to be nominated. Anyway, I don't like I was voting for the Emmys to like figure out who's going to get an Emmy. You know, I don't even know if you vote again after this or if they just take the votes from this. To
Wait, are
determine
you
who
on
wins.
some panel to vote?
I'm in the Academy.
Oh, the Academy. Okay.
I get the.
Well, the
yeah.
Academy's the
okay.
Oscars. What's the Emmys called?
I don't know.
I don't even know. The Emmy
You're in
committee.
that though.
Yeah, I'm in the. I was gonna say child sex ring. I'm just kidding.
You're on the
I'm
flight
thinking of the
logs.
different sex of Hollywood.
Yeah.
No,
So is
I
this?
don't know.
Are you
All of a
always been
sudden it
on
showed
that?
up
How
in my
long have you
email.
been on it for?
No, it was just this year.
And what got you on it?
I have no idea. All of a sudden, it just showed up in my email to be like, you can vote for on the Emmys today. And I was like,
Wow.
fucking yeah, I will.
Wow.
So then you go through, and I just realized, like, I haven't seen everything because you can't see everything. And I feel bad voting when I don't know.
You don't have everything.
I don't like when people go like, this is the best pie in the city. And I'm like, how much pie have you had? Like you can say this is the
Right.
best pie I've tried. So I just voted as like, this is the best one that I know of. And I have to be okay in my heart that I didn't consider all these people because I don't like not knowing which one.
That's
I
why
think
you have to campaign because there's a lot of people who don't watch any of it. But if they
And you
got
have
an
to be like-
FYC of a, we got an FYC.
for your
We ordered.
for your consideration is what that stands
Yeah,
for.
we ordered John and Vinny's, or at least my wife ordered John and Vinny's.
You got an FYC in there.
It was in
and
the
I'm just
John and
learning
Vinny's
to call them
bag.
that, by the way.
It was like a color. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you're a kid, and you get like a little coloring sheet.
That's very clever. What was it for? I want to vote for them. Voting's closed, but
Yeah, I forgot what it was for.
that's very clever.
Didn't
Good
work.
for them. I got like
You also
done and
presented.
dusted.
You presented for the Creative Arts Emmys. I wonder if that
Maybe
got
that
you.
got me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe if you present, you're in like Flint.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be going this year. There's no question
Hell
about
yeah.
it. I've already manifested that shit.
Fuck
So
yeah.
Right.
I'll see you there.
Someday You'll Die on the docket for this year?
It
or
wasn't
next
on
year?
the doc. No, it's not on
Oh.
the docket, but it's like in some separate thing. It's definitely on this one's
Okay,
somewhere, but
this
it's not being
year's.
voted on in this batch because Chris and I couldn't find it.
Okay.
But my special certainly was there, and you can vote for
Got
that.
it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was exciting. Just to
Well,
see
you
my
can
name.
vote for it if you're in that.
If you're an Emmy.
Won't the
voter.
roast
Yeah.
win something? I mean,
Oh yeah, that was nominated as well.
Yeah.
Or that was up for nomination, so I got to vote for that as well.
Oh, that's definitely
nice.
gonna be something.
I think it's still like being consumed. It's wild how long that thing has lasted.
yeah.
It's great.
Everyone's seen it.
Everyone.
All my
Everyone.
tennis girls yesterday. 20 women
Oh,
all saw it.
I mean, it was.
I'm
Wow.
like, they watched, but
It
Tom
shows
Brady.
up on people's phones, and it made and everyone saw it. It was top 10 on Netflix for weeks. It was
Yeah.
wild.
Amazing.
It was really exciting.
Well.
This dog still doesn't have a name, and I mean, I just don't know
did
even know
you
what to
hear
do.
my name?
What was your name?
Quinky.
No. Right out of the gate, no, because I don't know
I
what
said-
you said, and I don't want to. This is the big thing about this name. I don't want it to spur conversation.
Well, so
I just want it to be the name, and I don't want people to go like, "What's that mean?" Wait, what did you say? Quirky? What did you call it?
Quinky.
Quinky. That'll be my name. I could see myself being like, "Are you a little Quinky?"
Yeah.
But I couldn't call her that. I just
But
don't
you
want people to
can't-
go like.
neighbor.
you can't
That
make
was a
it
neighbor
too
of
simple and it'd be avoiding the name either. Because like in
Yeah.
Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon's dog is named Dog, and that
Yeah,
that
then
spurred
that's a
more
conversation.
conversation. Yeah.
No, I can't do
You don't
it.
want conversation.
And then if it's Birdie, they're like Bernie or Bertie
Burden.
or
Yeah,
Bur-
yeah.
I don't. I just. I want
That
it
was a
to
lot of
be-
conversation already.
You've got to
Honestly,
pick a basic dog name like
Lucky
Rex.
feels good to
Lucky,
me.
Lucky's good.
I mean,
Lucky.
that's so basic though. I can't.
It's got. That's how you don't. That's how you. People avoid conversations when it's that basic.
Dude, I know.
They go,
What
okay.
do you do if if someone's like, "Oh, how old is he?" And I'm like, "Do I say it's a she? Like, do I just let them think it's a he,
I mean,
Yeah.
or do
Who
you
cares?
correct?"
I don't
Because
correct.
what if it's someone that like might see the next night?
Oh, if
and
you
then
see them
someone-
over and over again, then you can tell them the first time. But if it's some
Yeah, if they say it
random
2
person,
times.
I don't think it. I just want my dog to be a they.
they them.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so-
think that's what.
Hey,
That's,
just call her them.
and I said I didn't want conversation. Yeah, that'll spark
Make it the
some. All
most
right, guys.
controversial.
Yeah.
Well, I
thank
just
you
want
for
to
listening
say
to the
that my
podcast.
dog's
Yes.
name is basic. It's Jack, and
it's not basic.
That's a
That's
lot
so
of dogs
cute.
are named Jack. I didn't name him,
No.
and
a
it
lot
doesn't
of
spur
young
any
boys.
conversation at all when I
That's
say
a
his name's
cute
Jack.
one. All right. Well, we got to go. Jack is a cute name. Well, I
It
might
is
steal a
cute.
name from one of my friends, their dog's name, but their dog's still
Oh,
alive.
I don't like
That's
when
it. I know
people
that.
steal
I
you-
know, but you stole our dead bird's name and gave it to your new dog. That sucked.
Yeah.
Django, you just threw Django under a bus and stole his name.
I miss Django so much.
Yeah, of course you did. The bird who flew the coop on Christmas when we were bringing the Christmas tree and it flew out and never came back. And they're like, "Oh, that name's free now. Let's get a dog
It
and
was
name
free.
it." All right, I love you. Thank you for being on the show. I'm on the road. NikkiGlaser.com. See you out there, besties. Thanks for listening to the show. Jumpy Cut. Bye.